I don't put on any mask. I'm not fake. I just am who I am. And, you like it or you don't, and that's what the Sex Pistols were.
All right, this is the song here.
My name's Abe Partridge, and I'm an artist and a songwriter from Mobile, Alabama. I don't call myself a musician or an entertainer. I think of myself as a communicator. My mother was a piano player in a church, and so she played like old hymns, That was my very first musical influence, of course. But music never really had an effect on me until I was about 13 or 14 years old and discovered Nirvana like everybody else in my generation, When I was 18 years old, I graduated, and instead of going to college to learn a normal trade or a skill, I started going to different Bible colleges. I became an understudy of a preacher of sorts in the mountains of the Appalachians. Whenever I adopted the religious, started going to religious schools, I had to leave rock and roll behind. And I partly did that because I was forced to, and partly because at that time I believed I should. I had to find something to fill that void, so that's when I discovered the blues. So I found, Robert Johnson and Charlie Patton and all the greats, but the one that influenced me the most was Son House. Because Son House was a Baptist preacher who became a bluesman. There was something about his music and his performance that spoke to me in a way that really changed my outlook on music and what music could do, Everything that I had been taught and everything that I had embraced started, gradually falling like a house of cards, because I had realized that I had spent 9 years, like my entire adulthood, doing one thing that I was losing, and I could no longer do in good conscience. I decided that I would go and see if I could learn a skill in the military, and I joined the Air Force at 27 years old, and I work on the avionics technician on C-130s. I've always been creative. I was never in a community of creators. I've always been parts of communities of non-creators, and critics. I think the reason that God made music was so people could communicate with each other on a deeper level. And I think Son House believed that too. What I kind of feel like my music is an adaptation of free, no rules punk rock and lyrics that mean something, Because I listened to the Germs on the way up here today. You're not going to cry listening to a Germs song. What I try to do with my songs is to blend the two, at least in the way I perform them. A lot of my songs, I play with cowboy chords. You could give them to some country guy and he can make a country song out of it. But in the way that I perform, I try to bring an edge more easily, or at least I am more able to connect with people emotionally. And the ones that make you cry are the ones that come easy. Like, those are the ones that I draw upon 18 years of my life to get all the horrible stuff, and it just comes real easy. The funny ones are the ones I really have to work on.